Hey, what's up, guys? It's Anime Talk here with Izzy,
So,
and today's anime is Attack on Titan, episode 46, I think. Yes, it was
yeah.
46. And this was a really good episode, honestly. It was very crazy. Like, a lot of shit was happening, you know? It begins with the Titan still, like, running, not running, literally slouching, not slouching, dragging himself towards this district, one of the districts. I forgot the district's name. And we have the scouts and the MPs, or the interior police, I believe. They were all like talking about what to do next. Like, they were like, what's gonna happen? And then it starts off with Erwin say, yeah, so like, we're not gonna involve the people. Like, don't let the people know. They're gonna just let the Titan come. And then everyone's like freaking out. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? And if you don't participate in this conversation and stop looking at your phone, I'm gonna stab you in the face right now. Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Pay attention.
I know.
We're talking about a good
I was
episode.
trying to prove a point, but
Okay, prove the point after.
I can't. It won't let me.
Okay.
Hi. Hi, guys. I missed you.
It's so stupid.
So, we're going to talk about Attack
Shut
on
up!
Titan.
Don't restart it. You're adding more time to it. Okay, so I was talking about when Erwin was explaining, saying what to do, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let that Titan come. We're not gonna do anything. Don't warn the people. Don't move them at all. Like, don't warn them." But he's like, they're gonna do like what's it called? Like a false drill, like a false drill, a drill, a false drill. They're gonna do a drill, and they're gonna try and not make the people panic, and they're gonna try and just make like ease up the situation without involving anyone, you know. And they were like they were setting up and stuff. Everyone was getting ready. They started putting all the cannons on one side, getting ready for the Titan. Um, Stupid phone. You could participate in this conversation if you want to.
I'm letting you talk.
You're letting me talk for why?
Yeah.
Well, what's the
No,
reason?
don't. I'm letting you talk. Okay,
Why?
continue. Okay, where did you stop?
Pay attention! Pay attention! Pay attention!
Yeah,
Jeez.
so that happened. And
And then, okay, so they started putting the cannons on one side of the wall, and they were getting ready to attack, to shoot them, right? And they were setting up their, like they're setting up barrels and stuff, getting ready. And then we see the people out there, kind of like, oh, what are these guys doing? Just because they overthrew the
they're
kingdom,
irritated.
they're irritated. Like, we gotta open our store, our businesses, and like, what are they doing? Well, why are they wasting our time? They're just trying to like show their power and stuff, you know. And then like one of the I think it was the interior police was like, no, everyone needs to do this drill, for just in safety. He's like, oh, we're in this side of the wall. This we would never have to do this. Why would we have to do this? We never get attacked by Titans, which shows the ignorance. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, nothing's gonna happen, and we're like, they're so freaking arrogant. I just realized how arrogant they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm over here saying yeah, looking across the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could contribute. Just gonna.
I'm contributing. Contribution.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
So yeah, that happened, and then after that, there was smoke, and then smoke came, and then like everybody was like, "What the hell?"
Oh,
Why is there smoke?
the people
And then
started.
the girl kind of looked like
panicking.
she was frightened. I don't know why. I mean, she already knew what was happening,
little
but
girl?
she looked scared. No, not the little girl. The one, the interior police.
Oh yeah, the
officer.
one that was organizing the drill down
Yeah.
on the floor.
I don't know. She kind of looked like scared of what was gonna happen. Maybe it was because she knew,
Well,
or I don't know.
I think she was getting scared because the people weren't listening, and she knew
Yeah.
what was gonna happen, and everyone was like freaking out at the same
Yeah.
time.
And then after that, that's when the Rice Titan, the Rice Dad Titan started coming closer, and then everybody was starting to get like ready. They're all prepared.
Wait, is when the bombs started hitting, or like did they start hitting? Remember when Aaron was having flashbacks of like him?
Oh, yeah.
Was that before
Oh yeah,
or
no,
after?
that was
I think that's when they were getting ready, right?
yeah, I think that
And
was before.
and then they were looking at
Yeah.
these kids, and then Aaron's like,
No.
"Oh, look, that looks like
No,
us."
I think that was after actually.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I still want to
Yeah.
bring it up because it was so funny. So
At a point, there was a shot of Aaron, and then I don't know what he was doing, but
he was setting up the barrels.
yeah, and then he saw kids like inside the walls, and then I don't. They were playing, I think, or they're like.
No, they were
trying to-
just looking. They were just looking like, what's going on? Why is all freaking
Yeah,
out?
and then he had flashbacks of.
Him, Mikasa, and
him, yeah, and-
Armin.
And then Armin came, and then he was like, "Oh my God, look at those kids! They're just like us." And then, like, something bad could happen, and they could like experience exactly what we will. But then Armin's like, "Yeah, that may be true, but they'll have
Us to save them, you know,
Yeah.
like we're gonna show them another side of the world.
they
another
won't
side
have
of the-
they'll have us to be ready, you know."
Mhm.
We'll be there for them to protect them because they didn't have that. So after that, he started punching himself, and
Wait, don't gloss that. Yeah, he started punching himself. He was like, I'm like, okay, what is he doing? And then Mika's like trying to hold him back and shit. And like
Eren.
he's holding him. Mikasa was holding Eren from himself. Yo, calm down, bro, calm down. And he was just like wailing himself. It's okay, guys. I was just being the pussy out of me. Like what?
yeah, that happened. And then
Oh my god. Why was he doing that?
because he had to show that he was stronger, you know.
I
Like,
think
he had like a whole rant about how he was the weakest one of all, saying how Astoria was way stronger than him.
yeah,
even
and how
though
he
he
was gonna
thought
give
he-
Historia the
yeah.
main character plays, and how he was gonna
Yeah,
just
and
be
turns
trash.
out Attack on Titan isn't about Eren; it's about Historia.
And Historia can turn to a Titan.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't even need to
So-
turn to a Titan. That's how weak Eren is, that he has to turn to a
Yeah.
Titan. Let's not distinct Eren.
Okay, so yeah, that happened. After that,
they
the
were.
Titan it started getting even more closer, and then that was Eren's part was after they started like shooting cannons and stuff,
Mhm.
and then they shot cannons from like the Titans, like I don't know, I can't explain anything
Like
today.
wait, okay, sorry, like, yeah, they started shooting at
They're
them.
on the surface, and then
There was
cannons
aerial,
on
like not
the-
aerial,
on
but
top.
like the on top of the wall, and then there was
Yeah.
ones on the like outside of the wall
and
and
it
ready.
wasn't getting the Titan.
It was,
So-
you know what Erwin said? He was like, oh, well, okay, think about it this way. Why are we about to lose right now? First of all, we have inexperienced soldiers. We have, what's it called? The supplies that we have is crap, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like, also, we have a shallow leader, you know? So, like, he's like, think about that. And the thing is about the plan they're trying to do is like it's like a gamble. As always with Erwin's plans, that's what Levi said. All your plans are gambles, you know? Like, it's going to be a risk at something. Like, there's going to be a risk. And the risk for this one was if the Titan was going to show its face or not. And it's like, it's open. Like,
Yeah.
his mouth is open. And God, like, people will have nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Because that Titan was
That was-
freaky.
Yeah, was
It
pretty
looks freaky as shit. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, his nose and mouth and all that was gone. It was just like
Yeah,
a...
the art is really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And, like, he was, like, bleeding from all, like, open holes.
And that was only because he was like rubbing
His
or,
face.
like he was
But I think he
dragging
couldn't-
his face.
But I think it was happening before, too. Like, it was a weak spot. And he just kept dragging on it because he didn't want anyone to,
Yeah,
you know...
no, because
like-
his front was all dragging on the
Yeah, I know,
floor.
like, but like it was increasing the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like when he transformed, his face was like still the weak part, and that's why he was putting his face on. Because look how he stood up. He stood up
Mhm.
like well, yeah, when he got the wall, he stood up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so after like they were like not losing hope, but the cannons weren't working. The Titan he basically went. He didn't go over the wall. He stood up.
Yeah.
He started crushing bits of the wall.
And that's when the
And then-
kids like the
And that's
kids,
when everybody, like all the civilians, were like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, it's Titan!" And then like the officers were like trying to control them, like, "Hey, please stay calm." And they're like,
like,
"Shut up!"
they're such assholes.
Well,
Like
it's-
they were literally explaining to them in the beginning, just listen to us, and then they're like, no, we're not gonna do anything. Like whatever you say, you know, like they're just there, you know, like they're being annoying.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It makes me wonder why Erwin probably sometimes wants to let the Titans attack.
let them.
Like if
They
Erwin,
deserve it.
yeah, if Erwin says that the next time, I'm like, yeah, good, teach him a lesson. But yeah, after that, it was like they were still shooting the cannons on them, and the Titan was releasing steam.
Yeah, it
You know,
stood up.
it was-
Oh yeah, so because of the Titan like releasing like all that heat and steam, they all had to like drown themselves in water. They had buckets and then they spilled it on them, which was like actually pretty smart.
I
Never
remember
thought about
I
that.
don't remember the part here, but I think it was like a cool ass part. But I remember it was before or after. When the cannons weren't working or whatever. The scouts were like, "All right, it's our turn," and they're like, "Yeah." They were putting water on their face and they were getting ready.
Yeah.
Like it's so badass. It was that part.
Yeah, that was after the Titan like started climbing
Yeah.
on.
It's like, come on, guys, this is our part, and then Aaron's like, "Yeah, let's go do it." And
You
then,
know what was the like grossest thing though? It was when the Titan he was standing
guts?
up.
The
Yeah,
guts.
the guts.
The guts
Because
falling
like
out,
he was
yeah.
dragging his stomach and his whole front like on the ground. It was like it was dissolving. No, it wasn't dissolving. It was like it was coming off. His skin was coming off. Everything was coming off. So when he stood up, all his guts, like not all of it, but most of his guts were like spilling out, and it was so gross.
When you die in
I thought it was so
Fortnite.
cool though. It was so cool.
Yeah, hear what I said when I
Shut
when
up.
you die.
Yeah, and then time came, and that's when their real plan happened.
Yeah, the badass plan where Aaron like was getting
Yeah.
ready. He turned to Titan form,
Yeah.
and the kids were like, "Oh my god, another Titan!" And then they didn't
But
know.
wait,
It's
he's-
Aaron.
he's helping us.
He's helping us. It's Aaron, the superhero.
So yeah.
And then Aaron was like running on the wall, getting ready to throw like these was gunpowder and stuff like that. They had it set up for him, and they were what the plan was to throw it in his mouth because
and
it
blow
will
up
blow
his
up from
neck.
his
From
neck
the inside.
from the inside. Yeah, and then that would be like the best bet instead of doing it from the outside because it's much weaker inside than the outside because it's like thinner or
yeah, and you
easier.
can't really do it outside because of all that steam coming out
Yeah.
and the smoke.
And I'm pretty sure it's thicker from the outside for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way it is.
So yeah, Aaron threw the gunpowder inside of his mouth, and then it blew up, and then there was like a bunch of explosions, and then the scouts they had to like go find the actual nape, cause like
Mhm.
it didn't like actually blow up. They had to go and find the nape and like cut it down, and then they all left and were trying to find it, and then Historia found it, and then she cut it, and she had like memories. I don't know. She had like
Memories, or she like I think when she cut it, she
she had the memories of her father. Like it just like she
yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Like yeah, when she cut
They-
it, she absorbed, I guess. Like maybe her father was like, "Oh,
it was so
see my
weird
memories."
though. I don't understand that. Maybe it's because he can't take.
Well, they
into
have that
memory.
mind shit, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's why.
Maybe
So-
when
So yeah, she took in his memories, or some of them, and then she realized that he actually wanted to stop the Titans when he was younger, and then like a
but
bunch
as
of
he grew up,
Yeah.
he's like, "No, it's up to whoever."
Yeah.
Like whoever has the information is the one who's gonna do it. Decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. Honestly, I was excited the whole
So
time.
after that happened, she fell down into like I don't know, she fell, and then the civilians came to her and they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Were you the one that did
And
it?"
then she stood up with a mighty roar and claimed, "I am your queen, Historia." And there goes.
And then it transitioned
And then it
to
transitioned.
Kenny and him.
And then he says, "I am your king, Kenny." Never happened. But yeah, Kenny's like over there dying on the wall.
Yeah, he's like half burned, and it was
Yeah, he looked
it was
gross.
not cute.
Well, Kenny was never cute.
I'm just saying it was ugly.
Kenny is Kenny from South Park, literally.
Okay. Okay.
Damn it! You killed Kenny.
So he was half.
You bastard! That's the catchphrase.
Exit.
Exit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Continue.
yeah, I remember. He
And-
killed Kenny.
You killed
You
me, you bastard!
bastard.
They should have said that. Damn it! But his whole
No, but
group
he didn't
died.
die.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, did he? Huh? They didn't really show Kenny dying though, huh?
he didn't die.
Yeah, because Levi was. Oh yeah, I remember the ending.
So Kenny was almost dead. He was about to die. He was all exhausted, and then he was bleeding like a lot. He was like
And Levi
bleeding
found
a
him.
lot, and he was half burned. And then he fell. He sat next to a tree, and then
He opened the book.
he had memories. He had his like flashback too. You know that flashback you had before you die in anime.
What was he? Wait. He was also having a flashback, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, is it more like showing that he's about to, like, you know, when?
No, it showed that he saved someone. I'm guessing he saved like
Levi.
a couple of he saved Levi and somebody else, and then that guy was like, "Oh, I'd do anything for what he did." What did he do though? Okay, so it showed some flashbacks of Levi too, and then Levi and his buddy came and killed him. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't die.
No, Levi was like, "Oh no, dude, I got this," and he go report back, and then the other guy was like, he went to report, and Levi was just having he was just talking to Kenny.
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh, hey, all of your gang
Is
died.
dead.
So what are you gonna do then?" So yeah, he said, "Oh, looks like all of your group is already dead."
They're crushed by all the rocks.
They were crushed by.
It was just showing how like Levi was like explaining like, "Oh, look at you now, like you're about to die, you're bleeding out and stuff." And then Kenny's like, let's just end it right there, right? And Kenny whips out his little purse thing. I don't know where it was.
Yeah, and then
Am I gonna die?
Levi was like, "Oh, hey, you're about to die now. Like there's no hope for you left. You're already bled out. You're still bleeding, and you're half burned. So like you have no hope at all." And then he like, "Are you sure about that?" And then he whipped out like.
And John Cena came out.
He whipped out like a case, and then it had that potion. You know, the potion. It wasn't the. I don't think it was the exact.
It was a Titan potion. I'm pretty sure it's a Titan potion.
Yeah, it was the one.
Because there's no way they have
The
one.
Storia had.
Yeah.
You know, I think he stole it.
Yeah,
probably.
because he remember his original
But
plan.
that
no,
doesn't
remember,
make sense if it would turn him into a Titan.
Listen. His original plan was to turn to a Titan.
Listen.
He was gonna eat Eren.
Listen.
Listen to me.
I don't think that might be it because remember how Historia crushed like or smashed hers? The Rice King. He went crazy over it. Why would he go crazy if there's more than one?
Well, think about it this way. She didn't like. First of all, they don't probably have all of them with them, but they have more in another place, right? But it's like a secret type of shit where they don't have. Maybe they have like very minimum. First of all, right? Second of all, I think he freaked out mostly because she disobeyed him. Like she's like doing her own shit. Like she was supposed to do something. Like she was supposed to do what he wanted her to do. What I'm telling you right now is that Kenny was gonna eat Eren. That was his plan. He was gonna turn to a Titan and eat what's his name? Eren. So now how would he do that if he didn't have the medicine before? He was planning it this whole time. So he had the potion to turn himself to a Titan.
Okay. I guess.
But it's true. He said it himself in an episode. Wait, so are you telling me I can't eat Eren and get the powers? It would be worthless. So he was planning to do it. He had the potions, but
Okay.
maybe I don't know what else
So,
could
yeah.
that thing turn him into a dragon.
The end.
What happens if it's like anticlimactic and like next week when it comes out, he's Levi actually kills him before he even uses the medicine?
Yeah, I'd do that.
I could see Levi doing
Why
that.
wouldn't you do that? But maybe he did it too fast. But I don't think he'd have enough time to like build it. You know, because it was piece by piece. Okay, bye.
Why would you end the show without really ending the show?
Okay, go follow our Instagram.
I'll beat your ass. I think that's it for today, guys. I think that was it because she obviously wants to end the show.
I want to end your life.
You know, this is what happens when someone is offered $1 billion to do a podcast and then they start forgetting about the fans. You see it right here, right now.
What?
It's
we
wow.
didn't get offered any money. What are you talking about?
Well, that sucks even more is that you're doing this for free and yet you're turning your back on the fans. The two fans who listen to us on Anchor. Yes, we see you.
It's probably an accident every time. Not these goddamn fools.
Yeah, they accidentally click on our name, but it's like a different podcast. All right, guys. I think that's it for Anime Talk. This was Izzy and.
This is so and Izzy.
Yeah, oh my
bye.
God! Don't do that. And
Too late.
and
You already did it.
make sure you check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Anime Talk is now for both. And yeah, I think that's it. See you guys later. You're not gonna say your dumbass line.
Shut up.